Welcome and thank you for attending the Street Transportation Department's virtual pre-recorded presentation about Roosevelt Street from 43rd Avenue to 27th Avenue. This roadway will be repaved as part of the city's accelerated pavement maintenance program, and we're proposing lane changes and parking changes. Si les gustaría escuchar esta junta en español, sigan las instrucciones en su pantalla. Primero, vayan a la barrita de este video donde encontrarán una CC y un círculo de herramienta localizado en la esquina a la derecha. Luego, seleccione la CC para prender los subtítulos. Luego, seleccione el círculo de herramienta. Esto le abrirá una ventana con opciones. Next slide, please. Ahora seleccione la palabra Auto Translate. Le saldrá una lista de idiomas. Aquí seleccione su idioma preferido. Seleccione Spanish. Ahora ya se cambió los subtítulos para tenerlos en español y poder escuchar esta junta en su idioma preferido. My name is Vivian Padilla, and I am a Public Information Officer with the City of Phoenix Street Transportation Department, and I am your host for today's pre-recorded presentation. On your screen, you will see a list of our panel members associated with this project. We have Kini, who is the Street Transportation Director, Mariel Brown, who is the Project Manager, and Carl Langford, who is the Traffic Engineering Supervisor. The agenda we will be following appears on your screen now. We'll share the proposal schedule and give context about it. We'll also provide details about the proposed changes, and we'll share how you can share your thoughts with us about this proposal. And now we will hear from the Street Transportation Director, Kini.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for the public meeting on Roosevelt Street, 43rd Avenue to 27th Avenue. We have proposed lane changes and parking changes for this project. I'm Kini. I'm the Director of Street Transportation for the City of Phoenix, and my team is going to lay out our plan and proposed changes for Roosevelt Street coming up related to our bike lane improvements. In a bigger picture, I just wanted to mention that we are very much focused as a department, as a city, in providing better mobility options, which gives people a choice of how they get around our streets, whether they're walking or biking or driving or taking transit. And we want to make sure those choices are all safe and comfortable and give them the option to make a choice that is safe for them. And part of the improvements that we're going to be discussing today are about Roosevelt Street, are about providing those options. And our team is going to get into a lot more details about that. But we want to make sure that we provide a connected network of safe and comfortable bicycle and active transportation options for our residents and our visitors so that they have the option to be able to choose. And so nothing has been decided. This is a proposal. And so when we want to hear your input, that's the whole point of having this viewing session, is to be able to see what we're proposing, hear why we're proposing it, and to provide your feedback. So I'm going to turn it over to Mariel to talk a little bit more about this and share the details about this project.
Thank you, Kini, for the introduction, and thank you, Vivian. I'm Mariel Brown, the project manager for this proposal, and today I'm here to talk with you about Roosevelt Street from 43rd Avenue to 27th Avenue. This section of street does have bike lanes on it right now from 39th Avenue to 31st Avenue. It also connects to bike lanes on 39th Avenue and 31st Avenue. With the upcoming pavement project, there's an opportunity to look at the bike lanes and see if there are opportunities to improve how the street works for everyone. And that's what we'll be talking about today. So just as an overview, this proposal is launching on June 27th, and along with a survey. So we want to hear from the community on what you would like to see for your street. Once we hear from the community and make a decision, we'll share that final decision in the summer of 2022, and then get ready for pavement in late summer or early fall this year. Whatever happens with this proposal, whatever decisions are made about striping, the pavement project is scheduled to go forward. This proposal is just about striping. The pavement project is needed and it will be going forward. This project is part of our Complete Streets program, or The City of Phoenix has a policy that requires designing streets with walking, biking, transit, and driving in mind so that we can address the needs of everyone who uses our streets. And the goal is to create a network of connected streets that are safe and comfortable for everyone to use. This project was also recommended in the Mobility Improvement Program through the Mobility Area Study for the Golden Gate neighborhoods. This is a Transportation 2050 funded program that allows the City of Phoenix to work with neighborhoods that need infrastructure investment and identify opportunities for improving connectivity and safety for people who are walking, riding a bicycle, or using transit as they get around their neighborhoods. So out of the 25 projects recommended in the Mobility Improvement Study for the Golden Gate neighborhoods, this was one of them. And we are also working to fund 2 HAWK projects as well. The project was completed in 2019, and we continue to look for opportunities to fund these projects and move them forward. This is the recommendation from the Golden Gate Neighborhoods Mobility Study Plan itself. It recommended adding bike lanes or extending the existing bike lanes so that they went from 43rd Avenue to 27th Avenue. The study actually found that or estimated that the project cost would be over $300,000. However, because this is a pavement project, we're able to see if there's an opportunity to change the striping as part of the pavement project, and the cost of the project would become marginal. It would just be the cost of the paint itself. This is a pavement project, and all of our pavement projects go through a complete streets review to see if there's an opportunity to change the striping when we repave the street. When we pave a street, it creates a blank canvas for us to restripe in a way that best suits the community. And so after doing that complete streets review to understand what's possible, we work with our traffic engineering team to make sure that we're not impacting congestion, to make sure that the proposed striping fits on the street. And then once we've found if it's feasible, we bring it out to the public to propose ideas and hear from you on what you would like to see in your community. And so that's where we are with this project. It's been recommended through the Mobility Area Studies program, and it's also something that has come through our complete streets review through a pavement project. When we look at the current bike lanes on Roosevelt Street from 39th Street to 31st Street, they do allow people to park in them on evenings and weekends. And so they're really for the most assertive and the most confident bicycle riders, people who don't mind biking in the middle of the street, sharing the street with cars, because the bike lanes are not always available. We were looking at opportunities, or we have looked at opportunities to restripe them to see if there's a way to make the bike lanes more comfortable for everyone who's interested in riding a bike. And that's what I'll be presenting here today. So option A is the option to keep the street as it is. You're probably familiar with what Roosevelt Street looks like today, and this option would be to put the stripes back where they are after we've paved the street. So I will talk about parking specifically at the end of this, but first we're going to go over what the traffic lanes look like. So right now from 43rd to 39th Avenue, there are no bike lanes. There's one lane of traffic in each direction. From 39th Avenue to 37th Avenue, there are bike lanes. There are no bike lanes from 35th Avenue to 36th Avenue, and then from 36th Avenue to 35th Avenue, there are bike lanes again. However, the bike lanes do allow parking during evenings and weekends, so they're not available full time. Going from 35th Avenue to 33rd Avenue, there are bike lanes and a center turn lane. From 33rd Avenue to 31st Avenue, the street narrows. There's no more center turn lane, but there are bike lanes, which again do allow parking at certain times of the day. And then from 31st Avenue to 27th Avenue, there are no bike lanes. So this first option is the no changes option. The second option that we're looking at is option B, and that's updating the bike lanes and expanding the bike lanes. So from 43rd Avenue to 41st Avenue, we would be adding in bike lanes and adding buffers to the bike lanes. There's no parking in this section of the street right now, and so this would not really impact the current parking situation or the current traffic lanes. From 41st Avenue to 39th Avenue, we would also be able to add bike lanes while preserving the existing parking. There is parking currently on the south side of the street from 41st Avenue to 39th Avenue. There's enough room to keep that parking and add bike lanes. From 39th Avenue to 37th Avenue, we would be able to keep parking on the north side of the street and still have bike lanes that are available 24 hours a day on the weekends and evenings, as well as during the day. From 37th to 36th Avenue, we would be proposing adding bike lanes. Right now, this segment does not allow parking. It's a very narrow segment of the street. So it would essentially be maintaining the same travel lanes without impacting parking. And then from 36th Avenue to 35th Avenue, we would be able to maintain parking on the south side of the street if we wanted to add bike lanes that were available 24 hours a day. From 35th Avenue to 33rd Avenue, we would maintain the center turn lane and add buffers to the existing bike lanes. This would remove the current parking that is allowed during certain times of day in the section. And then from 33rd Avenue to 27th Avenue, we would have room to add bike lanes that are available 24 hours a day. However, we would have to restrict parking on the north side, but we would be able to keep parking on the south side of the street, and that would be available 24 hours a day. So to give you a better sense of what this parking situation looks like, here's a comparison for option A and option B. So the red sections are areas where there's no parking allowed currently at any time. As you can see, the first segment of the project or of the proposal from 43rd Avenue to 39th Avenue, we would be keeping the parking the same. The yellow sections represent where there's no parking on weekdays from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you are allowed to park, but you're not allowed to park during the day. We would be removing all of the no parking time of day requirements so that parking would be much more simple on the street. Either it would be allowed or it would not be allowed. There would be no more time of day parking regulations. So as you can see from 39th Avenue to 35th Avenue, while we would be removing some parking, there would be more parking available during the day than currently. And then from 35th Avenue to 27th Avenue, we would be restricting parking on the north side of the street in order to make room for 24 hours a day bike lanes, or for bike lanes that are available any time of day. The parking on the south side of the street would remain available any time of the day. And so with that, I will hand it over to my colleague Carl to talk about the traffic impacts.
Thank you, Mary Mel. So on traffic impacts, one of the things we look at anytime we're looking to make any changes to the road, people always ask, well, what happens with traffic? And that's a lot of the concern. In both of these options, there's really no traffic impact, as all the lanes basically stay as in place. There's one driving lane in each direction. The big changes that could impact traffic is any changes that we would do, say, at the traffic signals through the project. But there are no planned changes to the existing turn lanes for any of the traffic signals in this area. Option B, as it will narrow the lanes slightly in the area, that will, in theory, help people drive a little bit closer to the speed limit area, because some of the parking will get removed, specifically the parking that is time of day parking on the bike lanes. The bike lanes will be more predictable in that it will be a bike lane 24/7. The parking areas will be more predictable as all the parking available will be available the entire time of the day. So that leads us to the summary of impacts. So again, just kind of summarizing some of what is going on here. Option A is basically no changes. We'll put the road back with the same striping that's there today. Gaps will remain in the bike lane. There will be time of day restricted parking, so parked cars will be in the bike lane during certain times of day. Restrictions next to the schoolways will stay in place. Option B, that's where we're updating the bike lane, and really the intent is to create a bike lane that will be a continuous bike lane available 24/7 throughout the extent of the project. Parking lanes will be defined in the project specifically, and so there will be set parking lanes that will be available 24 hours a day. All of the time restriction parking, so specific time of day parking aspects, those will go away from the project. Any restrictions by the schools, they will stay there as well. And then another impact overall throughout the project, there will be less street parking available as well. And so with this, I'd like to turn it over to Vivian again.
Thanks, Carl. So this is our proposal timeline. We do have a survey, and it is open from today, June 27th, through July 17th. So make sure you take that survey. We should have an expected decision in summer of 2022, and pavement should start either in summer or fall of this year. And just as a friendly reminder, the survey is both available in English and in Spanish, and that'll close on July 17th. Both surveys are available on our project website, which is Phoenix.gov/streets/Roosevelt Avenues. You can also reach the project team via email at bike@Phoenix.gov, and you can send us a message with your contact information and your thoughts, and just let us know what you think about this project. We do thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to hearing from you and seeing the survey results. Thank you.